Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. Repair value, like if the repair value goes down to completely zero on a front weight, does it actually have any lasting effect in the game at all? Does it make any difference to anything? Like a tractor, I think if the tractor goes down to zero repair, it's not able to run machinery at maximum speed. At least that's what I think it does. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is my belief. So I'm going to bring you back over here like this and hook that one on, and then we are going to go over to the place that not I was going to say the farm, but we're not going to the farm. No, we're halfway over to the cattle yard. Just halfway, only a little bit, well, not quite, it's a little bit more than halfway, but, yeah, and we'll take out those trees. I was just trying to think, are there any other trees that we could do with removing now before I go and put this away? Like that one there on the edge of the field, I have thought about removing that one, but I don't think I will. I'm going to leave that one where it is. The ones on the right-hand side, down the other end of that field over there, I will eventually remove them, but I'm not going to take them out now, so they can stay there. They'll have a reprieve, temporarily at least. So it's just the ones up here, and there aren't any around the cattle yard. Ooh! There's possibly one by the cattle yard. The pine tree that I sort of removed a bit of land going up against, but didn't actually, like, do all of it. There's none here, because I'm not, like, removing the big banks like that. They will stay where they are. But these three trees on this side and the ones on the other side, we will remove those. So if I go in here and unfold that one, unfold the main machine, start the main machine, except that's not the main machine, start the main machine, there we go, and now we want to bring this one in. So we'll start off by lowering it down and seeing if I can cut it from down there. I can't. That's just not going to work. Right. So I'll bring you in like that. And then I'll use the wood chipper on the back to do the other bit. So if I start that one up, and I'll bring you back, that over the top. That's all of that one. So I don't actually need to go and do anything else to this bit for now. I don't own this field over here, so I've got no plans to actually go and do anything different in here. But clearing all of the trees out of the way means that we don't have to come back here later on and have another go with it. So just drop that back down there, just in case there's any stump hidden underneath the ground. It doesn't appear to be. And then we go on to the next one over here and get that one out as well. And I'm gonna lower this down. Yeah, like that. And then we can actually fit the stump grinder over the top of it. Like that. Right, so there's that bit taken care of on that side. I definitely don't need to take the trees out over on that corner in there. There's nothing there that we want to do. I don't need to worry about removing that. I was wondering about removing that tree, but no, because the edge of the field is going to be over here, so that will be absolutely fine. It's not going to be in the way of anything. I've got this tree just here to come out, and it would be better, I think, if I cut through a little bit lower down on that one. And then I will go and grind off that stump. Get rid of that one. There we go. And then, once I've done that, I can start doing the terraforming, at least on this bit here. Now, I haven't got a lot of money at the moment, so we ain't going to be terraforming very much. It's going to be a little bit limited on what terraforming we can actually do, but, I mean, we can try. That back through there, and that one is done. Now we'll move on down this way, and then there's just... Oh, there's 3 trees over here. I didn't realise there was 5 trees along this bit. Okay, we got 3 more trees to go and cut through. There's 1 right there. And then there's a couple more. And it's that 1 over near our grain storage. Not grain storage, the straw and the straw and hay storage that we've got over by the yard. So we're going to get that one as well in a minute. But I don't think I'm going to have enough money to be able to, like, make very much of this into actual usable field over here, especially considering that I'd like to, like, tidy up the other side. In fact, the only way that we're going to be able to do that is if I fast forward a few hours, because, I mean, we do have a bit of money available. We have got some money available. I'll bring you back up here a minute, and like if we wait a few hours, we can earn a little bit of cash right there. Right, we've already just earned a little bit of cash to go and do things. So before I go and do that, though, I will run up this way. Let me turn that one off a second. I'll go all the way up here. So we got the... Why have you left an entire row? For some reason, that tractor went up and down that row without actually having the machine down on the ground. That is a very weird thing to do. I'm not quite sure why it would have done that, but it held the machine up in the air while it did that particular run. This is the tree that I want to get rid of, because this bit of ground right here, we will probably end up getting rid of that. Right, so I need to start you up again. That one can just stay running where it is, because that tree I've actually got suspended up in the air, which is probably not the best way to go and do this. I'm going to need to approach it from another direction. We're going to have to go up over the top of the bank, I think. Then get rid of it. Like this. There. Like that. And then... Nope. Let's have the front machine selected like that. There we go. That's better. Okay, while that one is still running, I'm just going to grab that bit and chuck it in there. So that one's all finished now. I can turn that one off, and then I can fold it and fold that. And then I need to turn round and get the the stump grinder lined up so that we can just remove that bit there. And right, that seems to have got it now. That up and down a little bit just to make absolutely sure. And then if I come back down over the bank, okay, it didn't like fall into an invisible wall or anything like that. It was my concern was maybe there would be an invisible wall there or something like that. Just something being a little bit daft. There is that tree down that end. So let's unfold it. Actually, I don't want to unfold just yet, because I don't want to be too close to here. I don't want to put the wood chips in storage. We don't want to keep any wood chips at all, do we? So let's open that one, unfold, and then... Yeah, unfold, and then... So it's that tree there. I'm going to take that one out. And then I'll grind that stump off. Get that one out of the way. Right. Now I can fold you up and put you away. And then I can go to this one, switch that bad boy on, and get rid of that stump right there. There aren't any others here. I don't need to worry about any of the others. Don't need to touch any of them. Don't need to get involved with any of them. That's absolutely fine. So now I can go and take this one back. And then we've got $10,600 at the moment. That should actually be in euros. I do apologize. So I'll go and change that. There we go. And how are we doing down here? Have you missed any more lines? I don't know why it went and did that. It did... It's obviously gone through because it's the right width for it, but it travelled along those two lines with the rake up in the air for some very peculiar reason. And I can't even begin to fathom why it would go and do that. But anyway, it's done what it's done. And, well, no harm done, I suppose. Do I start fast-forwarding time a little bit now? Well, actually, I'm only going to fast-forward time enough to get whatever money we might want to finish off the work that I want to do there. So I've got a little bit of leveling to do from the road out towards the river. That's the only bit that I want to do at the moment. There is going to be a bit of smoothing that I'm going to want to do on the other side. That corner there, both of those corners, that is so much better now. It's a much more even turn as you go in round along the road, so you don't have to do like a really sharp anchor round tight, so it means that you can go at much faster speed as you're going in round that corner, which is altogether more better for all of us. It's much more betterer. So I'll get the bits in the field. Well, not in the field. I get the bits next to the river. We'll go and tidy those up and do what we can with our money. And then we will probably wait until we start doing the ploughing before we start trying to level out too much else. Because I don't think we're going to have to level out very much. There is a bit that we're going to have to do, obviously, but not loads. Okay, let's put you over to there like that and unhitch. Get the front weight, and then I can whiz back over to the other side. This corner up here is also considerably better. Alright, we can come in around there at a nice gentle curve. Definitely driving over the area where the field used to be to go whizzing in and out of there. And it's much better. It works out a lot better. So I'm quite pleased that we've gone and done that. It fits quite well. This one in here, you are just about done now. So we'll leave this tractor here for a second, and we will jump over to this tractor. This is the very last run that it's going to do with the hired help. I'm actually just going to go back up there, and I'm going to set it going and do those two passes over there. But it's about to say hired help has finished. There we go. And then we can go round now, and we can sort of do the tidy up for the outside edges. But before we do that, we want to do this. The great mystery bit. Why did you go and leave this here? Right, what possible reason could you have had for leaving that bit behind? I really don't know. And what's the betting that it is going to turn left at the top of the field rather than turning right? Oh! Oh, it's gone and done that. It decided that there was a piece of the field right there that it didn't like. Now, why it did it for this one, I don't really know. But it's almost like there's an invisible stump underneath the field here. I hate it when that happens. That's potentially a bit of a jolly nuisance. We'll wait and see on that, but if I have the hired help and I go up here, we've got a windrow. That's all sorted through. But yeah, that is potentially a bit of a jolly nuisance having that bit down there. It says maybe like a stump. It might be to do with that rock that's over on the opposite side. I'm hoping that's got nothing to do with it. You can see right there that we missed a little tiny bit of grass when the turning was being done, but I don't imagine it's going to be a major problem. Now, next up, I want to put this down here, and which... Oh, wait. It would help if I was facing in the right direction. The grass gets dumped out on the right-hand side, so I need to be over facing this way. So all we're going to do with this one is I'm just going to drive around the edges like this, and it's going to throw everything in a little bit. Now, I will eventually... Like, I'll go round again in the opposite direction, and then it looks... Well, certainly on this lower side down here, it's only going to be 2 passes around, but going up and down the edges of the field, it does look like it's going to be a little bit more than that. I'll bring that in like that there. Yeah, it's not quite going to be enough, but what I might do for this is I might just drive round facing this way, and pile up the outside round just a little bit higher so that I push it into a tighter heap. And then, I mean, maybe not along this top bit, but certainly for the rest of it. If I do, like, once now, and then I go round in the opposite direction, that's going to give us a much sort of tighter heap. But right there is where the ground gets fairly uneven. And that's the bit that we're going to be having to work on a bit later on. Yeah, if I go and do this now, then I can go back round in the opposite direction, just on the edges, and sort of pile everything up. I don't need to down here, so I don't think I do. I will have to just kind of like straighten out a little bit, so I can come back in and then do it like that, so that I can push up. There we go. That's better. Put that up like that, and then we can come all the way down through. And I'm hoping that this bottom corner we can, well, we may not even need to do anything at all. We just go through slowly. No, we can't. It's going to need to be shunted a little bit. But I mean, I'm passing through here again, aren't I? So that'll be all right. Bring you up there. I've never used one of these in real life. Not the front-mounted ones, not the rear-mounted ones either. I've never used one at all. I mean, I'd like to. If there's any machine ever, I always want to give them a go. I always want to try them out, just to see what they're like. But, I mean, like, this here, it's not the easiest thing to go round corners with it. You can't quite see. I imagine it's going to be quite a difficult one to go and use, because when you're in the tractor cab, it's going to be a little bit tricky to see exactly what you're doing with it all. So I imagine that it's not going to be the easiest machine to go and use. Like, a lot of it should... I guess that's... I mean, you've got clear perspex on the sides, so you'd be able to see through it a little bit. And that would at least give you an indication of how well things are going. But at the same time, I don't know. What's it like? Anybody who's ever used one of these in real life, what are they like? I know that there's another one that can be put front or rear mounted. It's actually the one that's slightly smaller than this one. And there's definitely a few people that have used that one because they've said in comments, they've said about it and how you can use it front or rear mounted. So I know that there is some experience with using some of these machines. But has anybody ever used this one here? Now, this one I actually want to I want to avoid the windrow on our left. I want to leave that one just where it is. And then I want to sort of come down through, because I don't want to turn it into one giant windrow. I want to just kind of like gather it up like that. And then we'll shove everything over that way. And then I'll come down here like this. And we go whizzing through here. It is at least picking the grass up quite well. I mean, it's leaving little bits in places, but it seemed to do a pretty good job down through there. It, like going across the rows, that's the bit that kind of like is a good test for a rake, is to drive it across the rows like that and see what little bits it leaves behind. And pushing it along in front does seem to at least work out quite well for it. So I'll do the same up through here. I push it along in front and it's picking up everything just about. I mean, there's a little tiny bit back there that wasn't quite wide enough to go and get, but that's not the fault of the machine here, is it? That's the fault of the driver on the tractor, because I hate to admit it. And we go back up through here to get the final little bit. So that's all the rest of this grass. It's getting quite a windrow here. I don't think I don't actually need to be doing this all the way up here, but I will. I'll run it right the way up, and job is done. There, finished. So let's go and take this one back over, and we'll park this up. Then we can go and get the Valtra, and we can pick up all of the hay in the field there, and we can bring that over, and we can feed it to our cattle. And then once we've gone and done that, we need to get started with the plough and plough out the edges of that field. Now that's going to be the interesting bit. Before I start, I will do a little bit of landscaping and sort of figure out exactly what we want landscaped, where and how. So let's put you down there, and then I'll put the front weight back on. if the Valtra isn't up here. You see, I'm just going to leave this tractor here for now, but like when the Valtra's not up here, we can use that tractor for doing the slurry spreading. At the moment, that's a perfect tractor for doing the slurry spreading, and she will probably use that tractor to do the slurry spreading, because then I can move the Valtra back. And while slurry spreading is happening, we can be moving... Actually, I was just thinking, while the slurry spreading is happening, we can be moving some of the stuff, but I don't need to worry about that too much, because I've also got to do a whole load of fertilizer spreading later on all of our cropped land, and so that will give me the time I need to bring the truck back up from the sale point down the bottom, as well as bringing the combines down from the fields and putting them back into the shed where they belong. It's tempting to just go and leave the combines where they are and not worry about them. Very, very tempting, actually, but I'm not going to. I am going to get them and put them away. I like to actually make sure that they are properly put away in sheds and taken care of, because it's a really, really important part of our machinery right there, those combines. Like, they're a very, very important aspect of everything that we do, and if we don't take proper care of them, then we don't really deserve to have them, do we? So, quite frankly, I think that it is on us to make sure that we properly look after our combines and we do not mistreat them. So that is what we will do. We will properly look after them. So we're going to get all of this up through here and just run along there and get the end of that row right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back down this way. I'm going to skip 4 lines and I'm going to go up through there. And we can start gathering this up. So we've got 15,000 litres so far, 16. I reckon this field here, going by what we've just picked up down through there, I reckon that we're going to end up with about 150,000 litres of hay. This one row down here is going to give us a little bit more, although this is on unploughed land here, so it's just meadow grass, so you don't tend to get quite as much, although it's a nice thick windrow there. But I reckon 150,000 litres total off of here. What do you reckon? Put it in the comment section. See, you can skip ahead and you can see exactly how much if you want to. And you can put it down to the litre. But that would be cheating. And yeah, you don't really want to do that. Because there's no prize here. There's no prizes to be won. You're not going to be disqualified. But you'll have to look at yourself in the mirror afterwards. And I'm not sure you're going to be able to do that, are you? Are you going to be able to cheat and then look at yourself in the mirror afterwards? Oh, it's a risky business. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror every day afterwards. At least you do if you want to stay a bit, you know, at least reasonably tidy. So that's down to you. But I'm saying 150, and I'm already regretting that decision because I'm thinking it's actually going to be a bit less, quite a bit less than 150. But I've locked myself in 150. I stated that number. I threw it out there. So what are your guesses? Are you putting them in the comments? I'm hoping you are. If you're leaving it until now, that's kind of, yeah. You need to have put your guess down by now. Because otherwise, you know, you're leaving it until the very end, and then it doesn't really work. But, I mean, we're on 50,000 now. I don't think we're even going to have 100,000. So, my 150,000 was out by quite a long way. A little bit too enthusiastic with that guess. Never mind. We live and learn. And I am wondering, the bit that turned over up there, there's a truck going along up there. The bit that, like, it did, the machine, the tractor turned round and did a little bit of an odd, it had a bit of a senior moment. I'm kind of wondering if maybe there's something like the field isn't properly made or something like that, and maybe the act of ploughing will actually get rid of that, which is why I'm wondering if I should just have the plough and plough the entire field, like go right the way across and have everything ploughed up. It's a possibility. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to sort of see. It could take a little bit of time to go and do that. I mean, there's no real reason I can think of to go and do that. But maybe it'll help. Maybe it stopped. If it does, I tell you what, if it does it again in the future, then maybe we can consider sort of ripping something up. It didn't do it with the mowing, and it didn't do it with the tedding, with the turning, when we had the turner on turning it into hay. It didn't do it either of those times. It only did it when we had the front-mounted rake on, and I am planning on getting rid of that rake fairly soon, upgrading it for a brand new machine. So, yeah, I'm sort of thinking that maybe it's not something that we need to concern ourselves with too much. And, yeah, 150 seems to have been quite a bit out. Anybody that said 100,000 coming off of these fields, I overestimated because of how much I picked up on the outside round. I didn't sort of properly take into account how much we had on the outside round. So if you said 100,000, you wouldn't have been far out. We got this little tiny bit left here. Just the final pass down through here to go and collect up. And that's 97, 98, 99... 101,115 litres. 101,115. So if you said 100,000, pretty good. If you said 101, either a very good guess, or you skipped ahead, or you waited until the last possible minute to put your guess in. If you said 101,115, and you genuinely didn't skip ahead to look at the video, I would like you to tell us what next week's lottery numbers are going to be, because you seem to be blessed. Dump all of this in here. I don't know how much we're going to get tipped in here, but 100,000 litres of hay is definitely going to keep us going for a little bit. Any that we don't stick in here will... It looks like we're going to put all of it in there anyway. Yeah, it's all going to go in there. 169,805. It's still not quite full, but there's enough in there now to keep us going. And we're now getting a new cow just over every day. We're getting one more new cow every day, which is a really good sort of stage to be at, I think. You know, it's reached that point where the numbers are starting to pick up at a reasonable pace. It's just about noticeable with the quantities that we start to use. Once we get beyond 200 or 300, it's definitely going to start increasing quite significantly. Now, we have to go and do this bit. So we want to start landscaping. We can run in over here. This bit up this side, that's not going to make any difference to anything, really. There's some slightly uneven ground here in places. But honestly, I don't think that this is going to be enough to cause us any problems, because we're just doing mowing in here. We won't be doing any crops, so we can afford to have the ground. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.